Before we enter this story, if you believe every human being carries invisible wounds, if you have ever lost something that felt impossible to replace, if you still believe life can surprise you even when everything feels painfully silent, subscribe to the channel. Here, every story is an embrace for those who are tired on the inside. Every morning, at exactly 6:20, the blue bus of Line 17 slowly curved along the cobblestone street, releasing a metallic sigh before stopping at the bus stop in front of the old Monteverde bakery. And every morning, at that same exact time, a medium-sized brown dog was already there. Sitting, still, alert. The city woke up around him. The creaking of metal shop doors opening. The smell of fresh coffee mixed with warm bread. The cold wind descending from the hills. The distant sound of a radio playing an old love song. But the dog did not move. The older residents no longer commented on him. He had become part of the landscape, like the crooked streetlight, the broken pharmacy clock, the worn wooden bench of the bus stop. The one who truly noticed him was Daniel. Daniel passed there every morning too, always at the same time, with the same tired step, the same backpack hanging from his right shoulder. He spoke to no one. He greeted the baker with a small nod, bought a cup of coffee, then sat on the bench beside the dog. He never tried to touch him, never tried to chase him away. He simply sat, and for a few minutes, shared the same silence. Daniel was 48, but his eyes told a longer story. There was in them an ancient fatigue, the kind that doesn't come from work, but from life. He observed the dog every day. The fur was coarse, marked by thin scars and layers of dust. The ears were always lifted, the eyes always fixed on the road, as if he were waiting for someone. The world moved, but on that bench, in that exact slice of morning, time seemed suspended. Daniel understood that better than anyone. He lived the same way, trapped at an invisible point in the past, waiting for something that might never return. When the bus finally arrived and people boarded, the dog stayed. Daniel then stood, adjusted his backpack, and walked toward the warehouse where he worked. He never looked back. But every single day, as he walked away, he felt the same thing. As if he were abandoning someone he did not know how to save. Daniel never spoke of what he had lost. Not because he had forgotten, but because some pain does not fit into words. 7 years earlier, his house still held laughter, the smell of cooking, the noise of the television at night. 7 years earlier, his wife Helena still left notes on the fridge. Back late. I love you. Don't forget the bread. Today is our day. 7 years earlier, his son Lucas was 9 years old and used to run to the door whenever Daniel came home. Until the day the phone rang. Until the day Daniel crossed the city without feeling his legs. Until the day the world went silent. The accident took both of them. Since then, Daniel existed, but he did not live. He moved into a small room near work. Gave away almost everything. Distanced himself from friends. Learned to cook for one. Learned to sleep without hearing another breath beside him. Learned to survive without plans. What he never learned was how to let go. Just like the dog at the bus stop. Both trapped in an invisible promise. Daniel began noticing the dog more closely. Sometimes the dog arrived before sunrise. Sometimes he only left when the sun was already high. He never accepted food from strangers. Never barked. Never lay down. He simply waited. Daniel felt that, somehow, the animal carried the same pain he did. A quiet pain. Heavy. That does not ask for help. That simply remains. That morning, the wind was colder than usual. Daniel sat beside the dog and, without realizing it, whispered, I waited too. For a long time. The dog did not move. But for the first time, his eyes slowly shifted and met Daniel's. And in that brief second, Daniel felt something he had not felt in years. Understanding. On Tuesday morning, something was wrong. Daniel noticed it before sitting down. The dog was not there. The bench was empty. The street remained the same. The smell of bread, the groan of doors, the distant engine of the bus. But that piece of the world felt broken, like an incomplete photograph. Daniel stood there for a moment, not understanding why his chest tightened so much. He sat. He waited. The bus came. People boarded. Others got off. The dog never appeared. For the first time in months, Daniel went to work with a strange unease, as if he had left something essential behind. That evening, he returned to the bus stop. Nothing. He asked the baker, "Have you seen the dog today?" The man wiped his hands on his apron and shook his head. "Not since last night." That night, heavy rain fell. The next morning, the dog was back, soaked, shivering, but in the same place. Daniel knelt for the first time. He removed his coat and placed it over the animal's wet body. The dog did not pull away, did not growl. He kept staring at the road. Daniel sat beside him, feeling something old and forgotten awaken in his chest. The instinct to care. In the days that followed, quiet changes unfolded. Daniel brought water, then food, then a blanket. Always carefully, always with respect. Until one morning, a woman stopped beside them. "He's not leaving, is he?" she asked. "I don't think so," Daniel replied. "He's been waiting 7 years. His owner was a bus driver. One day he went to work and never came back." The words struck Daniel like a mirror. Did no one try to take him? Daniel asked. Many tried. He always runs away. He always comes back. That night, Daniel stared at the ceiling and understood. The dog was not only waiting. He was keeping the only thing he had left alive. Just like Daniel. But something inside Daniel began to ache differently. Because maybe, just maybe, waiting was also a slow way of dying. Dreamed of Lucas. The boy ran along the beach, laughing the way that hurt to remember. Daniel tried to reach him, but his feet were stuck in the sand. Lucas stopped, turned, and asked, "Dad, why did you stay there?" Daniel woke up at 3:17 a.m., breathless. He could not sleep again. That morning, he found the dog injured. Blood on the back paw. Probably a car. Or someone who refused to wait. Daniel did not think. He lifted the dog into his arms. The animal did not resist. He rested his head on Daniel's chest. And something inside Daniel collapsed. He took the dog home. The small room became shelter, hospital, refuge. As Daniel cleaned the wound, he cried. Not for the dog, but for everything he had kept inside. "The house is empty," he whispered. "The phone never rings. The boy is still on that beach. And I stayed." In the days that followed, Daniel stayed home caring for the dog. He named him Hope. Without noticing, he began opening windows, buying fresh bread, speaking out loud, cooking again. The silence stopped being an abyss and became space. One night, sitting on the floor beside Hope, Daniel said, "Maybe we weren't made to wait forever." And for the first time in 7 years, the weight inside his chest began to shift. The room still smelled of disinfectant and cold coffee when Daniel opened his eyes. Morning light touched the floor, revealing Hope sleeping beside the bed, paw bandaged, breathing peacefully. For 7 years, Daniel had woken with the same weight on his chest. That morning, the weight was different. Still there, but now there was space around it. He made coffee, opened the window, faced the photo of Helena and Lucas. "I'm still here," he whispered. Hope stirred. "You taught me how to stay," Daniel said. "Now I need to learn how to go." He decided. He would not take Hope back to the bus stop, but he would say goodbye. They walked there together. Hope stopped, stared at the road. Daniel sat beside him. "We stayed here too long." Hope lay down, rested his head on Daniel's leg, and closed his eyes. Daniel cried, not from pain, but from release. They walked away, without looking back. Life reorganized in small details. Daniel cooked again, listened to music, met neighbors, wrote every night, not about what he lost, but about what he was building. He was no longer living in yesterday. He was living in now, and that felt like a miracle. Spring arrived quietly. One morning, in the park, Hope approached a woman sitting alone, crying. She said, "I lost my husband 2 years ago." Daniel sat beside her. "The pain doesn't leave," he said, "but it learns to share space with life." That night, Daniel looked at Helena and Luca's photo and said, "I still love you, but now I live." Hope lay at his feet. Daniel slept in peace. If this story touched you, maybe it can touch someone you love. Sometimes all we need is the gentle reminder that it is possible to begin again, even after deep loss, even after long silence, even when hope feels far away. If you felt accompanied on this journey, subscribe and keep walking with us.